I'm connected now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the intro. I was chatting then, wasn't I? And I didn't have the mic in. That was very silly of me. So I'm going to do the intro like I normally would do, and then start this stage off. We're a little bit early anyway, so that's good news. So we'll have the intro. I'll put the map back to the beginning, and away we go. So this bit won't be on the stream. When I edit it, it will start from the intro. So bear with me, and I'll get the. Let's get back to that. So I'm going to go on to the starting screen. Hello Facebookers and hello YouTubers. Welcome to tonight's ride. We are going to be doing two stages. We've already done half a mile, so I've got to go back to the beginning. So I've wasted half a mile of cycling, but never mind. That's the norm. We're going to be doing two of our special island stages, which we will not quite finish off the Orkney Islands. We've got one other stage to do after that, the island of Hoy, but we're doing Rousay, which is the last little one that we do, and then we go on to the mainland, but neither of them are massively long. This one is very short, I'm going to do the two together just to get those out of the way, because we've got quite a mixture of things we're doing this week. We've got special video stages, we've got the real stages on certain days, we've got the outside day. And as you can also see, I'm in the shed because apparently it's supposed to be absolutely hammering down with rain at this moment in time. Unfortunately, it's bright sunshine outside, but we had to go with what the forecast was saying, because obviously electricity doesn't mix with water. So you want to see me riding, so I will start the riding. So basically what I'm going to do is set the map back to the beginning. Hopefully it will just kick off. If it doesn't, we'll take a deep breath and we'll set the trainer up again. But fingers crossed at this point. Let me just stop the map. And that will go back to the beginning. And hopefully when we start it again, everything comes up like that. As if by magic, it worked. Woohoo! So, you can see that map now. This is the very start. Obviously, you'd think we'd start right on the edge of the coast. That's not the case. I'll pan up, because the roads don't go up to the edge there. I'll just pan back so you can see Rousay. You can see where it sits on the Orkney Islands. There are the Orkney Islands. And at the very bottom, you can see the top of Scotland. So that's the island that we're doing today, just to take us on to the mainland. And as you can see, where we finish will be where you would get a vote if you could. So scan back in until we get to a nice, let's not bang our noses on the ground. About there, that should do, shouldn't it? If you want me to go one more back out, I will do. Just say, it's your stream, just as much as it's mine. So, you've done 1/10 of a mile already, without even thinking about it. I have a cup of tea. I'm wearing sunglasses. I'm not, but I've got sunglasses over there. I'm not going to need them because I'm inside. And it's time to roll. And I can put this, let's just get rid of that, rid of that, rid of that, rid of that, rid of that. Oh, I've got lots of things up here. I only want the one thing up, which is the heart rate monitor, because that translates over onto what you can see on there. It's the figure on the top of the screen on your far right, underneath my glorious photo. Not so yeah, so we'll finish this stage. I'm not sure whether I'll take any more break than I would. Certainly not going to take a long break. It will just be enough break to set up the next stage and go again. Yeah, not as long as some of the stages we've been doing, even if you've got the two together. But I have had a 3-day break, so my guess is that my legs aren't going to be quite as up for it. Or it might be the other way around. Maybe they're going to be fresher. I don't know. But yeah, they've been quite painful for the last 3 days. I think they were missing cycling. As I say, if you're out there watching, feel free to join in the chat. Just for now, I will start cycling. We've got pictures of both islands, I think. I'm not sure what I've got of which ones. But I thought I'd get it going as quickly as I possibly could, and what's happened is we've started almost dead on time. Normally start at 5:30, but what usually happens is there's loads of technical issues and you end up starting about 6:15. But anybody can join in and watch it whenever stage they want to. So just for now, get on with a bit of cycling. Certainly feels easier. I think my legs have appreciated the break, but we're being greedy. We're having another break, so we'll be cycling Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I will not be cycling. Well, I certainly won't be streaming. I may be doing a little bit of cycling. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then I won't be streaming on the Saturday, Sunday or Monday. And then we have the home run of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday, hopefully, all being well, weather permitting, technical stuff permitting, will be the day that we finish. And that will be a very, very long ride, the longest stage that we've done, all in all. And so it should be. So it'll be a challenge in itself. It will hopefully be done out the front. In fact, I'll almost make certain it's done out the front. I'll find a way, whatever the weather's like, we'll find a way. Yeah, so I didn't have my microphone on earlier because I had a staff meeting, which was really nice. It was nice because we've had 2 new staff members join since I've last been at work. That is crazy, absolutely crazy. So it was nice to see them and meet them in a kind of way. Obviously, it was on an e-meeting, and it was nice to catch up with all the guys that I miss immensely. If any of you come on the stream, cool. I was trying to encourage them all to come on the stream. So obviously my plan is that all of them, they'll all suddenly start chatting. Every single member from Gloucester House will be on this stream right now watching. Hi Ed. But if all else fails, who else would you want on the stream other than Ed Gallagher? Loyal to the last. So how are you, Ed? Started on time. That's got to be the first for about 600 miles. Typical A as well, doing it in the shed with bright sunshine outside, but better to be safe than sorry. I almost hope that it does rain sometime during this ride just so that I can justify the fact that I'm in here. But the main thing is we're riding. The good thing is that I can possibly, because it's going to possibly be even more rainy tomorrow. Thanks for liking the stream, Ed. Because it's going to be even possibly more rainy. When I say possibly more rainy, the percentage of the chance of rain is quite high tomorrow. I can just leave the stuff in here, or leave most of the stuff in here, not the expensive stuff. And there's less setting up time, which is kind of good because I need to get my head around these special video stages that we're doing. I'm good, Ed. Yeah. Glad to be back on the bike in a way. It was kind of quite painful being off the bike. I don't know if my legs were kind of reacting to not cycling or what it was, but in a way, in another way, I think it's done them good as well. The 2 stages together aren't too challenging, I don't think, miles-wise, which I think is probably not a bad idea for the first one back, get myself back into it. And obviously they're not the proper main rides, so there's no massive pressure on. So it'll be good to finish these 2 island stages. Yeah, so I'm going to have to get out tomorrow morning sometime. Because I need a session where I'm basically on the bike going through all the video ones that I got, finding the ones that, because until you actually start riding on them, I don't know whether they're good, whether they've been filmed from a car or a bike, and I don't want to do any that have been filmed from a car. I only want to do the ones that are filmed properly from a bike. So I need to go through all of those, especially, maybe not today, because we're going to be doing one tomorrow. So tomorrow's not so bad in that I've just got to find one that's a decent length that looks good. The one that's going to take a bit longer to find a good one is the one for the last day, because it has to be a specific length. So I have a whole load of them that are within the range. When I say within the range, they have to be within about, well, they have to be within 9/10, because I need to be doing exact miles on that day, as you know. So I've got a little group of ones of those to watch. And again, I don't know, you can't always tell. I mean, the ones when you go on the trainer and the screenshot, so there's only, all you see of it is one screenshot of the ride. So that's why I need to get on and ride a little bit of each one just to find out what it looks like. But the ones obviously I haven't put up are the ones where you can absolutely definitely see a car dash in front of you, so you know that's been done from the car. So none of those that I've put on. But the others you can't quite tell. You can guess sometimes because the camera isn't in sort of, the camera's more to the edge of the road than, you know, the outside. Yeah, a lot of the car ones you can almost guess because the where the camera is looking from is basically in the middle of the road, where you'd expect it to be more to the side of the road. But that'll be a nice thing to do. Although tomorrow's, yeah, I've got my meeting tomorrow, so that's going to be back to that stage now of finding time. Had the luxury of 3 days when there's been time, but even then, actually, felt like we couldn't do everything we wanted to. Yeah, had a nice staff meeting, that was quite cool. And everything started up surprisingly easily. The trainer started up first time. Yeah, the only thing I'm a little worried about is the fact that I've been using my earpiece microphone for a good 2 hours now at the staff meeting. I managed to put it back into its charger for 15, 20 minutes. So hopefully it will last. Obviously I've got the headphones if necessary, but I don't want to wear them if I don't have to, with the microphone on that. So it won't be a disaster if this runs out of battery completely. It'll be fine. It just feels a bit more natural not having something stuck on your head when you're riding. Well, other than a helmet, which would be a good idea. If you're out riding properly, make sure you wear a helmet. Oh, shouldn't be tired. I can't even remember what the stage is tomorrow. Is it a normal stage tomorrow? I think it is, isn't it? Have a look on Bookface. Greets. Charity bike ride going nowhere. John O'Groats to Land's End. Seymour. Tuesday. 9th. Oh no! Right, so yes, I will definitely have to go through the video stations. Tomorrow is a special video stage, so I'll have to get one sorted out. I won't be able to do that tonight for definite, because as soon as I finish this ride, I need to get on making. Or we had a Sunday lunch yesterday. Which I know it was Monday, but you know what I mean. Sunday roast, let's say, on a Monday. So we now have Sunday roast for Tuesday, so I need to get that all up and running. So it's nice that we've got away on time. fingers crossed we won't have too many problems during it. We haven't even dropped a frame yet, so we're doing okay. It'll all go wrong when we change stages. That's usually when it all happens, isn't it? That's why I'm not going to take a break. I'm just going to get the trainer up and running. I think what I will do is I always worry about the timer thing that I have. I have this paranoia that the timer actually crashes the program sometimes, just because of the amount of times that we got to that stage where the timer's ticking down, then the stream will be starting in, and the second it hits 0, everything goes wrong. But that could be a fact, or it could just be damn bad luck. So yeah, I think what I'll try and do, first thing tomorrow, sort out the ride. I can have my meeting, and then I can relax. And if I can sort out the video ride for tomorrow evening by tomorrow morning before my meeting, then I can cut the grass or something like that. I've got these. I've got to put those on to just make our fence even more bulletproof, or windproof as the case may be. Don't leave anything to chance. Danielle! Never heard of you. Oh, I know Danielle. I know Danielle very well. She's a very, very lovely lady. Welcome to this. Say hello. Join in the chat. Heads on. And thank you for liking the stream and following. Did you like it or did you follow it? I can't remember now. Oh, should look. If I had more room on the screen, I'd have I can't remember what it's called now, mini feed, which shows me what the last like was and things like that. But it's there's not quite enough room for it. Hello Rich, thanks for the shout out and having me. Keep going. It's a pleasure. It's nice to see you on the stream. Danielle is, I won't get into too many details because it could be anybody watching. She's she's one of the family. It's probably the best way of putting it. So yeah. I could say a lot more about her, but then that would be being, I don't know. You know. Ed knows Danielle very well. Oh, the glasses are steaming up in here. It's getting very hot in here. I need a fan. Come in here, I need a fan running in there. It's cool to be back on a bike though. Very cool. A very nice cup of tea, even though I say so myself. So this is a very short ride, if anybody wants to have a guess at the mileage. I could explain the mileage game to Danielle, and then you can use it for the next one, which is the one we'd probably do you can do the 3 guess one if you want, Ed. So you can play a little game called Guess the Mileage, which you win the amazing prize of nothing. And the way that you guess it, although we've already done about half the journey already, ha ha ha, hope it's all good things. Yes, sorry I've not been on much. That's fine, absolutely fine. Oh, there's Linda. Thank you for liking the stream, Mrs. Macaroni Wifey Linda. Usually walking the dogs or making dinner. But it's nice to be able to watch and support you today. Thank you very much. Can't wait to hear all about the mileage game. Okay, so the mileage game. See, look, Anita and Ed are already putting their guess in. What you need to do, you've got 3 things you can look at, Danielle, and anybody else who wants to guess. But I think it's just Ed and Danielle and Linda at the moment. If you look at the top of the screen on the left-hand side next to the clock that's going round, the first figure, which says 3.6, that's the distance that we've already travelled. If you look at the bottom of the screen, there's a white squiggly line. That's actually the elevation, but what that shows you is where we started from on the left hand side and where we're going to finish just over by the monkey on the right hand side. And at the moment, about halfway along it, normally when we're saying this, the red line that's sticking up would be near the beginning of it, but this is a very short stage. So you have to kind of look at the mileage you've done already and estimate. So that would be from the line on the left hand, that would be from the left hand side up to now. So we've done 3.7. Look at what you got left and see if you can guess roughly how long you think the stage is going to be to the nearest tenth of a mile. And you're going to get 2 guesses because you can guess this one, but when we finish this, because this is a very short one, we're going to do another one after that, which is a bit longer. Normally you'd have until about 4 miles, 4.5, sometimes 5 if it's a long one, to guess. The idea is you guess now because this one's not much longer than, as you can tell by Anita and Ed's guess. So yeah, have a guess. And if you win, you win. You could then go down the complicated route that although you don't know what the next stage is, you have to do a very, very random guess. Emma's on as well, and she's guessing. Oh, I see what she's doing. She's like hedging her bets there between mum and dad. Hello, Emma. Everybody's on. Crikey, you're early. Making me feel humbled. So hopefully Emma, well, I was just going to say, hopefully Emma's got the idea that, well, of course she has, because she's put a guess up. I need to start writing them. I've just got to write them down, basically. So, at the moment, and obviously if you were, for instance, if you have somebody else with you, possibly beginning with L, they're allowed to guess as well, like Ed and Anita have done. So, so we got, oh, look at this, we got, hello Emma. I'm liking having new people on. Not that I have anything against all the the people who've been following me there, because they're amazing. Amaze balls. Okay, I should concentrate. I'm doing it 8 miles an hour. I should really concentrate, especially now I've got the the wife of a professional cyclist watching me. I should really kind of step it up a bit, shouldn't I? Don't talk too quickly. I haven't written it all down yet. Anita 7. Let's get these down before it goes off the screen. I've got a longer screen than you guys. Not that I'm boasting or anything. So. Anita is 7. Ed is 7.2. Emma's 7.1. Right, 7.1. And where was Danielle? I saw Danielle's. 6.8. That's okay, Danielle. If he comes back, right, that's the first bit done. Now this is a very almost like absolute guess. We're going to do another stage. It is a lot longer than this stage. So the next guess you have to give me before we finish this stage is what you think I'm going to be riding overall, the 2 stages added together this evening. So that's a real random guess. Once you finish this stage and we start the next one, you'll then have, let's say, what should we say? 4 miles. You'll have 4 miles to guess the length of the second stage then. So what I'm after now is what you think I'm going to ride all in all. And I can put those down. I'll give you a clue. It's somewhere between 20 and 40. That's as big a clue as you're getting. Oh, come on. Start riding. James, Haynes. I need to read some as all the chat's gone past me now. Hello, says Emma, in that Emma kind of voice. That wasn't Emma's voice, that's not my impression. Liam's on a run at the moment. He didn't succeed in making me go. But hopefully he'll be back in time to guess before you finish. That's okay, he can guess on the next one as well. You don't have to guess all the guesses if you don't want, but you can if you want. Emma. Games. Did you write games wrong somewhere back there? I don't know. Were you taking a mickey at me? I was just about to ask for a clue. Good clues. Look at Emma. Oh, James said 7.1. Oh. Isn't that what you guessed, Emma? Oh, so you're both going for 7.1. Okay. I'll concentrate more on cycling properly on the next level, next one. You can if you want. You don't have to have a different guess. It only goes the nearest temp anyway, so so we have 2 guesses from Ed and Anita of the overall. Anita's guessing 32.9. And Ed is 33.5. coolio, and then you don't give the other guests for the stage until he's probably ridden it, he probably knows what it is. I can't remember either. It comes up when I first put it in, but I can't remember now, and I can't go back to it because it would stop the ride. We're nearly there now anyway. Well, close. We've got a way to go yet. So what I should do actually, so at the moment we're on the island of Rousay. That could be pronounced completely different to that, but I'm calling it Rousay. So I thought I'm just going to show you a few pictures of Rousay. I'm hoping the ones at the mainland, the ones on the next stage are quite controversial. I might get a little warning from YouTube, but we'll have a look. And I want to unplug that now because it's annoying having the mouse plugged in. So without further ado, which is an expression that I keep saying these days and I hate, here are some pictures of Rousay. So there are places to stay on Rousay. You can go there. I think that's one of them. Or it's a view from one of them anyway. That's probably the most iconic bit of Rousay. The one of the cliff lines where it's kind of been worn. There's quite a few of those around the Orkney and Shetland Islands, but that one's quite spectacular. You missed the question while James was guessing the last one. What? It's how far will I be cycling overall this evening with the two legs together? It's just a complete guess, this one, because obviously you haven't even seen the second stage. So this one's a complete guess. And then once we start the next stage, you can have a guess of how long the second stage will be. And you get 3.5 miles worth of riding before you have to guess. That's the boat that they bought so they can move between islands. That I think that services about 3 of the different islands. I'm not sure exactly. I seem to remember reading something about that. And I read that and then didn't see, I don't think there's many photos. It's a small island, so there can't be that many things to look at. I do like that though, that's quite cool. So Emma's going for 24 because she thinks I'm a wimp. She's probably right. 24, and Danielle is going for 27.4. 27.4. See, now you're getting the hang of it. It's very complicated, isn't it? We'll do this on most stages. The only one that's going to be different, and I suddenly had a thought, is on the last day when I'm doing the long stage, and you know exactly how long it is, or pretty much exactly how long it is, because it's going to be a mile for every year I've been alive. And James says you wouldn't want to do 50 miles on a bike trainer. Well, so I'm going to find out because I'm that kind of sick person. We'll do the times on that one so that at least we've got something we can guess how long the legs will be and how long the overall time will be. And I'll try not to be influenced by anything. Once I've got the guesses, I'll put them away and not look at them. I've got short-term memory problems, so I won't be able to remember any of them anyway. I better get back onto it. I'll probably finish the ride. There we go. Go back onto the main page. No, we've got a little bit to go yet. So that is Rousay, one of the small ones. They're all small islands. I mean, the islands are much smaller, the Orkney ones, compared to the Shetland ones. I mean, the main Shetland island, we couldn't do it in one stage. I think that took about 3 stages. So to be able to do the mainland island in one ride was quite easy, or quite short. It's really nice having you guys on there. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy. I hope you like. You know, it is what it is, I suppose. But yeah, the chat can be quite fun. Hopefully, we're kind of at one of the sort of quiet stages at the moment, but usually we'll get a few more come on. You might get to meet, and some of them you might know. Sean and Joe, Yasmin, she's my groupie. Deanne, well, kind of Deanne and Chris, but Chris doesn't come on himself, but he's there in the background, goading me. And a few other local, not local, that's not what I meant. What did I mean? Regulars. So how's everybody been today anyway? I think I've asked Deb, but how's your days been? Well, it's been cool. It's been slightly different, which is always good. I want to turn the corner, but it doesn't really work. So. Oh, cycling in this shed is hot. Not sexy hot, like temperature hot. That's the idea. It does go quicker when there's people there. Oh, we're coming up to something that I can't read. Holiday tours and RSPB Scotland. Something land houses, something, I can't read it. No, I don't, because it's. I try and keep it. I mean, I suppose in a way a fan wouldn't be cheating because you'd expect to have some breeze. I have this. The door. This is the door, which eagle-eyed people like Ed would know is actually bright green, but I found because the sun usually pings off that and it reflects right back into the camera. So I put a black cover over it just to stop it shining so much. But there is an completely open door, so I get a bit of breeze coming in here. But the back garden, you don't get a lot of breeze anyway. When I go and do the stages, the out front stage where you can come along and watch, that's so much nicer because it's a much open space, and you could cycle for a lot longer out the front than you can even hit in here, even if you're outside, just because there is no air basically. So cycling was not meant to be done without a breeze passing you by. I've learnt that one. It's just not natural. So we can already see the finishing line of this one. So if I got everybody's guess, Anita, Ed, Emma, Danielle and James, yes. And if Liam comes back in the next 2 minutes, no, he can't have a guess. That would be cheating. No, I try not to have any kind of artificial, because it's artificial enough as it is. So it's like whatever it is what it is kind of thing. So when I'm out there and it's baking hot sun, then that's what it is. Unfortunately, I can't ride outside in the wind and rain. I can ride outside in the rain and I can ride outside in the wind, but the two together, because I need a parasol to keep all the electrics dry, and I can't have the parasol up if it's windy. So it was supposed to be fairly windy and fairly rainy. So I put it up inside today. We had an executive meeting with my producer and director, and we decided that the thing to do was put it inside. There's some big black clouds up there, so hopefully we've made the right decision anyway. The decision we made is the decision. It is. I'm glad it's not just me feeling like that. It's very muggy and there isn't much of a breeze. I do have a fan, but it sounds like an aeroplane. I think that'd be the problem with me. Try and keep all the sounds down to as little as possible, apart from the tunes, which I apologise for the. Well, no, they are what they are. They're all copyright free, so of course some of them may not be the best tunes, but I just like having a little bit in the background. Not that I can hear it, only you guys hear it. Ed loves it, not. Sounds like an aeroplane taking off. So you'd have to scream over it, which would make me even more out of breath. Yes, yeah, talking and cycling is not exactly the recommended thing to do as well. So what will happen? We'll finish this stage. I'll try and start the next stage up. So that'll give me sort of like a minute break or whatever. I might have to put the screen on. I'll have to put the screen on. Be back soon, because otherwise you'll see the mileage. So I'll put it on the be back soon just for a couple of seconds. I don't know whether, if you guys haven't seen my spectacular starting, I might put the starting screen on. That might give me just enough time to start up the next one. If it doesn't, then I'll put the be back soon on. What do you mean even more out of breath anyway? You're saying I'm unfit? I still am. Another 1,000 miles and I might be fit. So that is the finish, and I know that's a little harbour. Not harbour, that's not it's a little ferry port. So we haven't quite reached it yet. Don't think it looks like we're there. We have to wait for that white squiggly line to suddenly change slightly shape. And there we go, and go behind Shades Macaroni. So, winner of the first stage is Ed, 7.2. Nice one, Ed. He's an expert at this, you see. But you're all close, because you're all kind of like around that area. So, I'm going to put a tick on that. And then, got a new feature now. Just to make it easier. Where is he? Where is he? That one. So, Ed, you're going to be impressed with it. Not. Keep saying not. It's a really stupid expression. Done. Right, here we go. If you look, Ed, there you go. where the miles are. At the moment it says 7.2 plus 7.2. That's not going to be the case. When it goes back to north on the other one, you'll be able to add the two together, so we won't forget then. Okay, so that's when I take a break. Usually I take a break around, there's Mrs. Macaroni Cafes, there's quite a few of those along the ride that I go along. So at some stage, I'm hoping they bring. It's amazing. It's better than drive-through. They actually bring the tea out to you as you're kind of riding along. So I'm hoping that we're quite close to Mrs. Macaroni Cafe. So I'm going to put the startup on, which lasts about a minute and a half, and I'm going to hope that I can quickly swap over onto the next map. So I'll be back in a minute and 40 seconds, maybe longer if it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, I'll come back with a black screen and that'll be fine. So see you in a few seconds. And back in the room. Is that 23 for the whole thing? Yeah. Cool. Let's have Liam's guest down then. This has never gone as smoothly as this before. So Liam hasn't really for that. He's got 23. I didn't get a guess for James overall. So cool. So we just started here now, basically. Do I dare risk it? Start again. Okay. There we go. Back to the beginning. There we go. And we're away. On the next stage. I can't believe how well this is going. Still no drop frame. Both trainers started up straight away. So we're now on. I keep saying so. Shut up, Richard. Anyway, rather than so, we now have the chance to guess the mileage of this stage. And then you've got your three figures then. So you don't have to guess straight away. I will give you up to 3.5 miles to make your guesses. Does Liam know how to work out how to guess? Basically, look at the mileage at the top, the one that says 0.1 at the moment. Ignore the plus 7.2, that was the last day. So look at that, and look at the white squiggly line at the bottom. Now, obviously that is the beginning of the ride and the end of the ride. And there's a red line which has only just started moving on the left hand side of it. So you want to leave it to run for a little bit longer yet before you have a guess, possibly. So somewhere around that 2.5 and 3.5 miles. Look at how far along that red line is at that stage and see if you can use those bits of information to guess how far you think this stage is. So. Oh, hi Deanne. Thank you for liking the stream. This is Deanne. This is one of our regulars. Ed and Anita know Deanne. Don't know if you're listening, Deanne. I'm sure. Well, you must be. If you just liked it, I suppose you are. Yes, we got some more of Ed and Anita's family on. So we have Danielle, who's got Liam with her, and we've got Emma, who I think has got James with her. She might be listening. She might have it on. She might have it on silent. Well, she's. Oh no, she's there. There you go. Hello, everybody. She says. I'm guessing that's aimed at me as well. If you'd like a guess, Deanne, on this stage, we just started another stage. So we had a teeny tiny stage, and now we've got a not that long stage either. It's quite embarrassing this particular day, but I didn't know how I was going to feel after the 3 days off, so I picked this one because it was ease back into the riding. Uzbekistan. I'm going to have a cough sweet, I think. Thank you. So this is mainland. The biggest island on the Orkney's group is called mainland. As it is on the Shetlands. Shetlands call their main island mainland as well. I guess it's called Shetland mainland and Orkney mainland. So, I'm probably going to mention this a few times because I can, and I think it's very funny. So we're heading out from the top. I'm just going to scroll back so you can see where we are now, basically. So there are the Orkney Islands. So we've just come over from Rousay. And now we're on the mainland. You can't see Rousay there, the little one to the side. And we're kind of going top to bottom, as in, as you can see, it's kind of longer than that, but that's where the port is to get over to Hoy, which will be the next stage that we do. So we start off from where we started off from. Which is, I can't see the name, kind of like Rousay, and then we're about to head through Twat. Nice, isn't it? Sorry, I have a very cheap sense of humour. Yes, so so I'm sure we'll see some signposts that point towards Twat. as we go along the way, which I'm sure people have photographed many a time. I'm trying to get back to where I'm heading in the wrong direction, heading into space. Okay, that gets us back in then. Then I can put that up so I can see what's going on. Oh, got some guesses already. Thank you. Yes, we were talking about this last night on the quiz. That it had a very interesting, my new favourite place name. Good old Yorkshire swear word that. Well, I say it is anyway. Certainly we used it a lot in school. Twat and wazzock. Those are the two main words used in my school anyway. So who have we got then? We've got Deanne. I'll have to add Deanne. Deanne. And what did Deanne guess? 25. 25. And Anita's 26.1. And Ed is 26.5. Feel free to guess. We've got a bit of time left yet. It does, doesn't it? Well, I don't think anything really beats the town, because you can only use that in so many different ways. But there's a town in America called Mianus, and just the fact it's got the word "my" there, you know, so you can ask people, you know, do you know the way to Mianus and things like that. So, whereas, yeah. Does anybody live in Mianus? That kind of thing. Whereas this doesn't have an extra bit on it, so it is just the word it is. But it's very rude and very funny. Sorry if any children are listening. So, because we've got a way to go, I'm going to show you a few pictures anyway before we reach Twat of mainland. And obviously there's a few of Twat as well. So I hope I got it here. So here we go. I'll try and concentrate on these pictures. That is, I tried to remember the name and I've already forgotten it. There's some barriers around it. It's not actually on the mainland, but there's some little islands that make up a really nice diving area where a whole fleet of German battleships was scuppered. So, and with the clear waters around that area, it's amazing diving. I think that's the main town in mainland. As you can see, they have, it's, you know, there's quite a lot going on there compared to obviously the little islands. That's the main shipping port. Well, shipping port as in fishing port, sorry, not shipping port. Again, it's beautiful. That's the Neolithic village that they uncovered. It's quite cool. Looks like a very difficult golf course, doesn't it? Well, it did from my eyes. That's the airfield. There's an airfield actually on the island as well. And there you go. There's Twat. There's two actually. The name, yeah, okay. I'll probably better not say too much about that on live YouTube. And Twat has a church. Yes, there's Twat Church. I don't know exactly what they worship, but Sorry, I was just obviously obsessed with it at this point. Put far too many signposts up there. I think that's the last one. I just like the name Kirkwall on that one. So, there's some standing stones there. That's a very nice picture of it. Yeah, you want a bit of countryside and scenery, certainly the Shetlands and the Orkneys have got that in abundance. That's the thing I always remember about Scotland, the clearness of the waters and the freshness of the air. I love Scotland. I know it's not, well, it is Scotland, I think, isn't it? I think the Orkneys and Shetlands are classed as Scotland. It must be. They built, considering it, it's kind of out on its own. They were quite competent at building stuff, though, weren't they? Oh, look at that! Cliff diving paradise. And then we're back to the thing in the who's it. What's it? Who's it? I can't remember what it's called though. Oh, we got loads on. You've probably seen, haven't you? This is Linda, just in case any of you don't know her. She's running alongside me. She's very fit. And that's it. Let's go back to the main ride. Nice place. Need to remember to keep leaving my cursor in a safe place, just in case I end up turning the stream off by accident. That would be rather silly. I think, as you can see by the elevation, I'm saying it's hilly, but it's only a variant of kind of, I don't know, what are we talking? 20 feet above sea level up to 183. I mean, we've had some of the maps where we've gone from about 2 feet above sea level up to about 1,600 feet. So. It looks like a hilly terrain. It's obviously got some very steep but short climbs and descents. Oh, thank you very much. There's nothing like a Mrs. Macaroni cup of tea. There are some tea rooms on this island as well, actually. I saw. For those of you who kind of know this regularly, weren't on at the beginning, there might be others watching at the moment, I don't know. Got one extra tiny little feature now that you notice next to the distance travelled. I now have the ability, so if I'm doing more than one stage, or more importantly, which has happened on several occasions, where the trainer has decided to pack up, and we've had to edit the map and start further down, where obviously the mileage then starts at 0, and we need to keep a record of how far we've gone. Next to the distance, we can have a little figure there now, like it has at the moment, because that was the previous stage. It says plus 7.2, so that at least it's there all the time, and I don't have to suddenly realise I've forgotten to write it down, which I have on occasions. But luckily, eagle-eyed people like Anita have usually who've got better memories and more organised than I am, usually help me out on those situations. And I'm aware that I've done 17 minutes and I've only done 2.7 miles, so I need to start, although that's got the restarts on it as well, that's fine. Start putting the effort in. So I had to do a staff meeting today. And I need a cough sweep. I wasn't talking that much on it, honest. There it is. Buried it down the bottom. Come here. Got it. Talking and cycling does your throat in. So yeah, staff meeting. On a it's like Zoom. It's Salvation Army's own version of it, I think. But obviously I didn't have much time between when that was going to finish and this was going to start, and I needed the camera and I needed the computer. So basically I did the staff meeting here in this setup kind of thing. Obviously I didn't have the map and things around me, so it's just the picture of the bike. And I sat on that little wooden stool that I sometimes have down the side when I'm outside. It's got very uncomfortable, so I ended up sitting on the bike because it was more comfortable. It was quite cool seeing my work colleagues and new work colleagues, which is crazy. I already said that. So there is Twat Church. So is that actually in Twat? Or is it on the outside of Twat? Have a look. Oh no, it's not. It's on the outskirts of Twat. So we're kind of heading into Twat now. Oh, Runa Guest Lodge. How? God, they had that opportunity to name that lodge something else, and they didn't take it. So this kind of junction is the centre of Twat, really, which is a little disappointing. It's quite small. There's not a lot going on there, but it is probably the most spoken town name on the Orkney Island by very immature people. Now we're heading direct north. Where did we go past the airbase? I can't remember now. Or airfield. On rolling. So who hasn't got guesses in yet? Danielle and Emma haven't got their guesses in for this stage yet. Well, James will be in, which is kind of the same. So I'm thinking of doing a bit of the Moroccan coastline tomorrow as the special video stage. There's a stage somebody filmed, but I've got to check that it's ridden on a bike. It runs along near Aswara, which is a place that we went and visited. Doesn't quite reach there, so it's not a road that I've actually been along. It runs from the town to the west of it, that's just before it. That was my initial one, and then I think there's, if that isn't a bike one, another one that I was going to check out. So I think it was a Thailand one, and if that isn't a bike filmed one, and one that definitely is a bike filmed one is this Japanese one that runs along, you know, where you've got all the little islands, and some of them are joined by little bridges, like kind of flat road bridges. It runs along a coastline and over one of those, which looks quite nice. So that'll be my fallback if the other two aren't. Oh, Chris speaks. You must listen. He's a teacher. You've got to listen if he speaks. You throw the chalkboard rubber at you. Okay, got to find a space to put Chris on now. I'll put him just under you because I can kind of fit you onto the same set of what's-its. If that makes any sense. It probably doesn't. You'll just see me write something and talk about what's-its. 24. Is that all you think I'm going to do? You'll be surprised actually. Ha ha ha. You'll be surprised and I'll be embarrassed. Although the length of this stage isn't my fault basically, which is why I did the other little island with it, in that the length of this stage is because of the length of the island, so there's no real choice on this one. Whereas obviously the mainland ones I can make within reason. Obviously I've got to find a B&B or hotel that I can stop at, but within reason I can make them the length that I want them to be. So I'd like this one to be a little bit longer than it is, but gets me back in the riding. Thank you for your guest, Chris. I'll give everybody else another 2/10 of a mile to guess. This is your guess for this stage, not the other guesses. So your guess for how long this stage itself is. We've got another 10th to do it. That's the cut-off point. Got to be strict, as in that I've said half a mile ago, I think. Oh, sweating like a fat pig in a bin bag. Yes. We had to tidy up afterwards. Those who wonder what we had a quiz the other night, and we did scavenger hunts, which are quite fun actually. Quite fun, they're very fun. I think in amongst the quiz we had about 4 or 5 rounds, of which you had to find between, what was it, 4 and 5 things, was it? Something like that, yeah. At the end of the quiz, our house looked like somebody had come and vandalised the place. There's stuff everywhere. Yeah, it's good fun, try it. It's quite simple, it's just basically like 4 or 5 letters. You have to find something with the name of each letter. Well, obviously slight mini rules in amongst that, like you can't have something and use the colour as the letter. It has to be the name of the actual thing. 1 or 2 dubious ones, I think, but Chris was very fair on his adjudication. That's a big word for this time of night. I know quite a few big words. Marmalade. They should have a guess for what. Oh, Linda and I aren't very good at quizzes, but I'm obviously very good at questions about quizzes. I'm going to put the light on because it's quite dark in here, isn't it? It's an artificial sun. Still not really bright. See if I can. It's not a lot you can do with the camera once it's already up and running, unfortunately. Like I've said before, if you could let the camera do its own thing, because the camera's pretty good, then it wouldn't have any trouble at all with the light and adjusting. But once it's connected to the computer, it has to work through the encoder, so you're quite limited to what the camera will actually do, because it kind of fixes the aperture and only allows you to artificially change it. So I'll probably stop at 10 for a quickie break. Just a sort of 30-60 second rest me bum break. Oh, this is quite close, I think, unless it's just me not having ridden for a while. This doesn't feel like the weather to be in a shed. I think if this is how close they're going to get to whether it rains or not, I might as well leave Friday's stage as it is, because there's obviously, well, just take a chance on it. Yeah, it'll be what it decides to be. The Friday stage will be the outside stage. I will just go for it. It's what I said before. Stick with it, and we'll always find a way around it. Find a gazebo. I think I need a gazebo. A tent without sides, that thing. And up to a little shop called You and Me Crafts. see there's a little village there. Let's take a look on the satellite. Yes, there is. Teeny tiny village. I probably should have done that on track, shouldn't I? Have a bird's eye view. It might have been bigger than we thought. You don't see the houses. It only once you Google it, only shows up things of interest like churches and shops and B&Bs and things. Back on the proper map. There we go. On the not proper map. The proper on the OBS. So I've got control. And I also, just in case it runs out, I need to have my microphone. And that's the good thing about it being a short stage, because I've already used my microphone on the staff meeting because it's obviously hands-free or wire-free, wire-free, that's the one, wireless, that's the one, so I don't want it running out. If you have a backup, as in I can put my headphones on. Oh, that'd be horrible. Headphones on in this close weather would not be fun. But if you have to, I can do it, so at least you can hear me. But hopefully the battery will last to the end. I gave it an extra little 20-minute boost charge between my staff meeting and starting this. As soon as we finish the meeting, I chucked it in the charger, which is basically, that's the charger. So I may chuck it in there for a few more seconds, because I may pop for a quick pit stop. That's 10 miles. I may not, but I think I will. Sting in the eyes. Bring the flannel down with me to wipe the face. Got another little cat's head coming up. Oh. Well, I thought I might find it a little bit hard after having a few days off, but I think it's more to do with the conditions. Like riding in a sauna, especially the computer is it's a gaming laptop, so it pumps out heat like crazy. Because the graphics cards can run very, very hot. Like hot, like you couldn't touch them hot. They don't have cooling systems in them. Well, we have no Nick on yet, and no Sean and Joe. Hopefully they'll hop on. I need to find out from Sean, the name of the, so obviously we're doing the NHS charities together. So the name of the local one, because you can send it direct, so that you get more benefit at your own hospitals. Ooh. Oh, Christopher Rousay. Might lose a bit more weight. Make room for the massive roasting I'm going to have. I was about to say this is the shortest normal leg I've done for a long time, but it's not actually a normal leg itself, is it? It's still an island one. Just suddenly thinking, sometimes I do a little island one and then a normal one. But yeah. So yeah, this is 4 and 5, and then the last one will be 6, which is Hoy. Then that's all the Orkneys done then. I think I finish off the Orkneys after, which is a bit silly really, but it's just the way that it worked, because I decided to do the Isle of Wight, so the Isle of Wight will come first, and then the last of the Orkney Islands will be the following week, I think. that's okay. Which is kind of what I wanted for the out front stage, because the last Orkney stage is not exactly the most exciting. The Isle of Wight one has a bit of significance. We stop at some, not stop, but pass some significant places. So we're also going past God's Hill, which is where I think I can say a friend Nicola Gibbs lives, which I'm hoping I need to just I need to get her permission first of all. But on the photos I've got some of her work. She's one of my favourite artists. So as well as shots of Isle of Wight, I'm hoping to show some of those. And the place where we stayed, which is a modest little place, but it means a lot to us. When we had our just after we got married holiday, not our honeymoon, that was a different thing. So where we went pretty much straight after we got married. And that's where we finish. That's where the ride finishes. It starts in Cowes and finishes where we stayed. So that would be a really nice one to do. It's very short, so that's why we're also on the Friday we're going to do a video stage as well, just a short video stage, just to make the that I can make the outside out the front of the house ride a little bit longer, and it worked last time. It worked quite nicely like that. We had kind of two stages, I think. Did I have two stages? No, I didn't. That was 2T. But I think that worked quite nicely. The one before was like that, where we did an island stage and then we did a stage arriving at Highworth. So hopefully that'll make it quite nice that I can have a little break in between, and it'll mean that we can finish the last stage about the right time that we want to. It just gives us a bit more control over it. There's very little control over when you finish a long stage, for those who don't know, because all sorts of things can go wrong. So you can say, okay, we've got 30 miles, that'll be just over 3 hours. Then you get technical difficulties and this goes wrong and that goes wrong, and it ends up being 5 or 6 hours. Or it can go completely to plan and you allow 4 hours and you finish an hour earlier than you wanted to. Whereas I think when you've got the two stages, if you put a planned break in the middle, you can adjust that break then. It's the last one that will have, oh no it's not, I was going to say the last one that will have more than one stage. The very last stage we'll be doing two things. We'll be doing a video ride and the final stage for the same reason. So we can maybe a little bit more easily time the finish to a time that suits people who want to come and watch. Nobody wants to come and watch the whole thing start to finish. Nobody wants to sit outside my house for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. That would be, I wouldn't want to. Well, I don't mind sitting outside my house. Ah, we lost Facebook. No, we haven't. Just my phone was playing crazy things. Cool. And we're at 10 miles. Okay. I'm going to just have a quick pit stop, and I'll be back very shortly. I promise. There it is. Okay, so back in the room. I'm going to get my cold flannel. It's burning up. Back on the ride. Back on the microphone. Almost forgot it again. On red. Hopefully. Sorry. Should fiddle about with it and speak at the same time. The microphone's on red, but I'm hoping that we'll just about make it to the end. We just gave it a few more minutes then. I haven't had any warning to say it's on low battery or anything like that, but this could happen. Oh, suddenly feels just that little bit cooler now. So, get the earphone, the microphone to stay in place. An internal one as well as external, so it hears your voice from the inside of the ear as well as the outside. It listens to your brain. Oh, hiccups. It's not sitting properly in my ear, but I don't want to keep fiddling with it because it makes lots of noise. And it doesn't fall out. I'm going to have to, because it's feeling like it's about to fall out. That's better. Definitely the temperature has dropped slightly. The glasses on. Oh no. The glasses on, they're covered in drips. Hi Matt and Lucy. I'm good. How are you? We've had a few on today that you will know, as well as Ed stroke Anita. We've had, I don't know if they're still on or whether they popped off to watch EastEnders or something, but we've had Emma stroke James and Danielle stroke Liam. If you're having words with Mark, you know, letting the side down a bit, but you know, he does save lives, so we'll give him a bit of leeway. So just to fill you in, if you didn't know, we've done 2 of the little Orkney Island stages, which only leaves 1 to do with the Orkneys, and that's that one finished. Which is why if you look at the top where it says distance, there's a plus 7.2. That's because the first stage was a little Orkney Island called Rousay, which was 7.2 miles. They've already done that one. And now we're on to the Orkney mainland. You have, I know you are going to be extremely disappointed, but unfortunately we have already been through Twat. We started at the top, and Twat was very near the top, which biologically is quite unusual. It's usually around about the middle, but yes, so we went past Twat Church and through the centre of Twat as well. So but actually it's probably a good point. This is a good place to put some pictures of mainland Orkney on, and then you can see there's a few pictures of Twat on there as well. If I can find it. Where is it? I'll look that up while I put the photos on. Here's the mainland. Not many, basically. So yeah, those are roads between the sort of the really small islands near the bottom of mainland, basically. So it's not actually mainland island. And in the middle of that, there's a whole load of battleships, German battleships that were scuttled during the war. I'm guessing that's the main fishing town. Let's see if I can find. Oh, I'll just do it this way. It's easy. Okay. Oh, I was missing the photos there. Yep. So that is the fishing town there. So there's a few houses there compared to some of the other islands. Obviously, a big concern. There's a fishing port there for definite. That's a Neolithic village that they uncovered, which I said looks a bit like a very complicated golf course, but and that is the airfield. It does have its own airfield, as do many others. And there is a Twat. Sorry, no, there is the sign to Twat. Sorry. And Twat has a church. As I said before, I don't know who they worship. Could be, who knows? Peas blossom. Has some standing stones. That's just a bridge across part of something. I don't know exactly what that is, but it's just some countryside that looks quite nice. And as do most of the places around Scotland, beautiful clear water and beautiful beaches, unless there's cliffs. You want your scenery, there's a place to go. And we're back to the beginning again. So, back to the question at hand. How many stages have we got left of the main ride? We have what do we have left? It's easy to look on Facebook, actually. That's got the whole timetable. If you go onto the Charity Bike Ride Going Nowhere group, and I think it might be on the page as well, there's a post on there. It says here is the timetable of the last few rides, which will show you all the rides up to the finish. So we have 42, 43, 44, five stages left, but we're doing obviously some bits in between because we want to finish on a Sunday, so we needed to work it out that way. And we only have 4 days riding today, so that didn't work out. So we've got today's ride, which is obviously the 2 Orkney stages 4 and 5. Tomorrow we're doing one of the special video rides where you won't see a map, you'll see an actual ride that I will follow. So you'll see the scenery either side, like a bit like a video. Yeah, it is like a video, obviously. As we're riding along, the scenery goes by at the speed that you're riding along, and stops when you stop, and the cars go past you and all that kind of thing. It's quite cool. I haven't exactly decided which one I'm doing yet. Could be a Thailand one, a Moroccan one, or a Japanese one. And then on Thursday, that's stage 42, so that's a normal stage, the only normal stage we're doing this week. And then Friday, which will be the special out the front, people can come and watch. That's the Isle of Wight out the front, with maybe a little video stage prior to that, just to stretch it out a bit so people can come along. And then I have the Saturday, Sunday, Monday off again. And then we have the homeward stretch. So next week will be basically next week will be riding Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Tuesday, stage 43, normal stage. That's Wooden down to Lifton. Wednesday will be the final Orkney stage. I know it's kind of out of sequence, but it's the best. That's quite a short one. That's Hoy. Thursday, stage 44, Lifton to Bodmin. Friday, stage 45, Bodmin to Redruth. Saturday will then be another of these special video stages. And then Sunday will be the last stage, stage 46, Redruth to Land's End. But also prior to that will be another of the video stages. The main reason that being is this will be the longest single the longest stage kind of thing that I will do on the ride. So I'll be doing a mile for every year that I've been born. So it will be 21 miles long. No, it'll be 55 miles long with the video stage and the other stage put together, and the last stage put together. And that will be done out the front of the house for people to come and watch. So that'll probably be kind of done over a big chunk of the day, really. What was I going to say? Yeah, so that was kind of done on for 2 reasons. One, because it just made sense that I did a 55-mile stage because I'm 55, and the last time I did a sponsored ride, which was obviously a year ago, I did a 54-mile stage. I think I didn't know it was on my birthday, which was actually really easy. So, but that was on a proper bike, riding normally. The other reason, obviously, being that I remember when I was first talking to James about this, he said you wouldn't want to do 50 miles on a cycle trainer. So it makes it a challenge. We might as well finish the challenge with a challenge. And that's it. That's all the stages. So what did I say? 5 stages, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 stages left. But there is, including today. Oh, I can't work it out now. Oh, 10 rides left, 10 streams left, 10 streams left, let's say. That's the best way of looking at it. 10 streams left, and 5 of those are normal stages. I haven't got anything planned. No, not at all. We have vaguely started planning doing it for real in maybe the next couple of years. So far, that's myself, Sean, and my son, to do Land's End to John, yes, I thought I'd do it the right way around, obviously. Land's End to John O'Groats. So yeah, that's the answer to the question of do I have any more fundraisers or long rides planned for the rest of the year? No. Yeah, I don't think it'll be as hard as this, if I'm honest. It may be harder, I don't know. I kind of feel it won't be. I kind of feel that this is the harder thing that I've done, but it will be no, because I don't if I say it'll be a lot more interesting, I don't mean in that way that, you know, you guys, it's been great having you guys on and all that kind of thing, you know what I mean. It will be more dynamic, so that non-incentive of riding and getting nowhere won't be there. So yeah. I kind of almost feel it has to be done now. And I think we've commandeered Deanne into coming along as our travelling nurse. I think Joanne wants to come along, as in, what does she put on? She puts Joanna. So as you know her, Joanna Hicks, I think is her name on there. Or Jo, as we call her. So that's Sean's wife. I think she wants to come along. But obviously that's very, very early stages at the moment, so I can't say exactly when it will happen. You almost need to do a fundraiser before you do a fundraiser to actually get the money together to be able to do it, because it won't be cheap. There's cheaper ways to do it, but it still won't be cheap. But it could be a memory that you keep forever. It's bound to be, I suppose. What's that? Oh, yeah. Looking at the wrong comment. Oh, come on. Fancy a go at it? I think bike-wise, for me, the only thing that I just really like to be able to do is, well, I suppose in a way I kind of am now, but get to a stage where I'm allowed out on my bike, or a stage where I feel safe to be out on my bike, I suppose, is the main thing. Absolutely not. No, we would do I think we'd do the more direct route. There's planned routes for cycling. We'd follow one of those. There'd be lots of bits actually. We've already looked at a possible route that takes us, obviously in the beginning and the end, definitely, but the fact that I kind of went along the Welsh-English border, that's one of the common routes to take. Because I don't know, Don, who's come on a few times, who's who owned the Loyney Mill bed and breakfast. He gets quite a few people staying at his place that do the route. So by chance, because obviously I thought I'd gone way off piste by going across towards Manchester and down that way, but it's quite a common way of doing it, which I suppose makes sense because you're staying out of the main drag of traffic and that kind of stuff. You're more than welcome, Ed, any day. Yeah, I'd love to have you along, Ed. In a way, it kind of tie everything in together. So. Oh. So other than the heat and humidity, which has been an absolute killer today, legs feel pretty okay. I think my bum's got used to not cycling for a few days, so that's going to need a little bit of wearing back in. Other than that, seems good. I think maybe having this is just in case it's not the same Matt and Lucy up your way. It is extremely close. It's slightly eased off now, but at the beginning of this there was no air. The temperature was kind of like that simmering kind of temperature. Yeah, first time we kind of had it like this, really, right on the edge of a thunderstorm kind of feel to it. Unfortunately, it wasn't a thunderstorm, but well, not yet anyway. Yeah. Although having said, I wouldn't follow the same route, and I said that some of the bits are the same. It won't be that different, really, I don't think, other than the way that it crosses over across Scotland. But then again, I don't know, personally, I wouldn't mind going past those landmarks as well. Certainly past where I grew up. So, but yeah, we've a lot of planning to do before that point of making a decision on exactly the route. Yeah, we haven't got dark at the moment, it's still light here. Yeah, we're just starting to feel a bit coolness now. Certainly not as unbearable as it was. It's just quite fairly pleasant now. I love Orkney tours. Little Orkney dye shed. Oh. I will, yeah, without a doubt, Ed, without a doubt. It'll be, it's kind of feel. Um, I talked about. I mean, obviously, I need to kind of not do it because it takes up too much time. But I don't know. I might look at kind of like doing just like once a week or something, maybe doing a stage ad hoc kind of stuff, just for a bit of fun. You know, pick an unusual place. You see what you think of these video rides when we do them, because that might be a bit more interesting as like sort of one-offs and things. If you want to sort of pop in once a week and have a little look, and we can all get together and chat. But we'll see. I don't know. Might after a week's break go, actually now I'm done, you know. But certainly while I'm feeling like I'm still kind of locked down, and that maybe going out for a long bike ride is I don't know, just not the right thing at the moment. I don't. Yeah, it's difficult to say, but at the moment the walks kind of feel okay, but you kind of, you come across people and they're not really social distancing, and they walk right in front of you, and you're kind of thinking, God, there. Yeah, it's yeah, I'll certainly probably have to I'll use this as a means of exercise, just to sort of jump on the bike, because obviously I can use the laptop or whatever. So to set up to just go on it myself personally and have a ride doesn't take long, especially if the bike's already set up for it. It's just a case of, it's probably 5 minutes and you're going. Yeah, I think I will miss the whole thing, the overall thing. You guys, the chat, the challenge, everything. But so we'll see where it takes us. See what I feel like. Becoming like a regular thing. Thursday event or Wednesday event or something. I certainly don't want to stop now on the fitness side, because it's kind of it's only just starting to really, I think, show benefits. And I don't really want to waste that, but on the same side of that, I'd rather be doing, if I'm doing the fitness and things like that, things that involve Linda more, that kind of stuff, so which we kind of just started doing anyway, so with the sort of going out for walks and that kind of stuff. Maybe buy her a bike. This year's birthday present. Forced on you. There should be too, but I mean, because children's bikes are cheaper than adult ones, aren't they? I think. It definitely feels like, it's definitely feeling like the home stretch now already, kind of thing. Not that I've finished, I've still got a way to go in a way, but yeah. And by the time I finish, that'll be 2 months of riding? Just over 2 months. Pretty much 2 months, yeah. I think it was the 19th of April, and we're finishing about the 21st, so give or take it, that's 2 months, isn't it? Especially with some days and things, so you can call that 2 months. I think doing it for real, you're probably looking more at 3 weeks, 4 weeks. 4 weeks would be too many, that'll cost you a lot of money. Probably 3 weeks. The professionals can do it in 10 days, but well, I say the professionals, the serious riders can do it in 10 days, but I'm not intending because some of us guys that are going on the ride are not exactly, we've got our things, issues, so we'll need to take it a bit steadier than your serious rider. Right, one last climb and it's all downhill. And I've got a lot of working out to do, haven't I? Well, not too much working out. In fact, no, I haven't got a lot of working out to do at all. Because I think we've only Ed and Anita have got all 3 guesses, so a little bit of working out. Because you've got 1, 2, 3, got about 5 of the total, so I'll have to do a bit of adding up. I'm sure I'm just about capable of that. Yeah, I'm kind of along those lines, Ed. I'm kind of I know what I'm expecting, kind of thing, on those kind of feelings. I think I've had them before, a little bit in sport, where long running competitions, throughout the season, all culminating in the finals, kind of thing. And I think probably more point, I used to do youth theatre in yeah, that's a good thing for tonight as well. But yeah, I used to do youth theatre when I lived in York, and I remember that kind of feeling when you spend all those sort of weeks and months doing rehearsals, and then you've got your couple of weeks of shows, kind of thing, and then it's all over. And that kind of like anticlimax kind of feel to it all afterwards. So yeah, I know I didn't expect to do that, but I think as I say, you can always sort of just once or twice. Well, I say even if I sort of just do it once a week for a little bit or something like that, something to keep people amused and myself during lockdown. Got this fly that keeps flying around in front of my face. Looks like one of the little woodworm flies, but it's a bit bigger than that. Oh, chat's not moving up. Oh, it's I see. Multi-stream is not working anymore. Is it? Yes, it is. Refresh that. See whether that makes a difference. I can see it on here anyway. Just noticed Ed's last comment didn't come up on there. No, it's just got Facebook on it. We'll go by this one. Right, we're on that big downhill now. Just popped into view, the finish line. Right in the corner. Right. So you don't want stuff going wrong now. You can just finish it nicely. Oh, another, put well done, another ride complete. Is that? Oh yes, sorry, that's on there. Not yet. Nearly. Never say it's over till it's over. But it's nearly over. You lose the internet. It could take the next 2 hours to finish the last half mile. Yeah, I suppose what you mean is we miscalculated the weather slightly. Well, it's not, we didn't miscalculate it. BBC Weather miscalculated it. It's been okay. I don't think it would have been a lot different out there because there's no wind out there, so it would have been just as hot out there as it was in here. I'm not sure I've lost any weight, but I definitely lost a lot of liquid. They have A roads. A964. I suppose it makes sense. Every road's got a name or number. And hopefully, I'm sure I'll get a bit of warning. If there's just double checking. Hopefully, my microphone's going to last. I'm nearly finished. I'll join you.
Huh?
I'll join you.
Well, no, you can do two.
I can do both at the same time. I can put the oven on.
Right?
I can put the oven on. Just wait for me. She's going to go for a walk by herself. I'm literally just finishing. Sprint now. So, it hasn't quite gone behind the thingy yet. Right, come on. Disappear. Behind the monkey. There we go. So, we've finished. Thank you everybody for staying with me along this. We'll go through the figures. So this was 19.1 and we had 4 guesses. It's going to be the lowest one, which is Chris. Chris's first guess, I think, as well. Chris, he is the maths teacher. With 24, so he wasn't actually close to it, but he was the closest. So, and the rest of you were, sorry, embarrassingly well overestimated. Oh no, because hang on a minute. Oh no, that was for that. That was for that. So the overall is 7.2. 19.1 is 26.3. 26.3. Which is Danielle, 27.4. Well done, Danielle, if you're still there. If you're not, should be. You've missed out on your prize. Yeah. So I think that was all the bits of information I needed to give. So tomorrow is going to be the video ride, which will be quite cool. I need to get off now because I want to go for a walk with my missus. I might look a bit weird walking in this stuff, but hey ho. Have a great rest of your evening. I'm going for a walk and then I'm going to have a roast dinner. Stay safe. Love in abundance, sorry. I've forgotten it. It's been 3 days now. Love in abundance. Stay safe and peace out. Bye bye.